being proactive. So I'm a big proponent of blue teaming, red teaming, purple teaming, continuous monitoring, and continuous testing, right? So it intrigues me that there's not more tools and capabilities and money being spent in teams like that. And they're commodities, right? Because the price of a cybersecurity engineer in the United States these days is pretty high. And that's probably, when you look at your budget, you have one hand that's your budget for your staff, and you have one hand that's your budget for all your tools. And sometimes the staff one, gets a little heavy. But I've never been a fan of just that one-time pen testing. It never made sense to me, because every time we did it, right, the IG's office would come in and they do their pen testing, you'd fix things, and then they'd go away, and then you're changing your system, a month or two later. So, as an organization, how do we get to a point where we can continuously pen test the environment, right? So that's some of the tools I mentioned earlier that we use to give us that outside-in look to our environment. There are some companies, I'm actually working with one, that if they have some people that were previous black hats that are setting up mechanisms and systems where they're continuously pen testing your environment. You give them IP addresses, range, go do this, go do that. So I'm kind of a fan of that. Obviously, training is a big one. Unfortunately, though, today you'll do training and you'll do a real world exercise, and then depending on your executive leadership, right, you might see challenges with people, and they're, why did you do this at this time? It's a particular point of time in the organization's in the year, and it's a challenge for different things. And so you get people's emotions that get hurt, and they're complaining about it. And then you're like, well, how do you do training without hurting somebody's feelings? And you're like, but the threat actors really don't care about your feelings. And yes, if we just had a rift, guess what they're going to be doing? They're going to be coming at us and telling you, different things. So, I like what everybody's talking about. There's the proactive, and then there's the challenges, right? To be this CISO in the organization, or CIO, or even CEO, because they're challenged with it too, trying to keep the business running, keep the business happy, and keep the team happy as well.